Hello! Today we're going to be showing how to replace the tape or adhesive for the corner mount cat scratcher. It will also double as a review of sorts. Let's get started. You'll know it's time to replace it when your scratcher looks like this. Here's the scratcher mounted to a corner with adhesive tape. You can see a portion of it sticking out there. I don't remember the exact one we purchased, but it was a 2-pack. There are a bunch of them on the market. They're relatively inexpensive, and they all seem to be relatively the same. Many of them come with catnip holders, if you will. We don't use that. I believe it's to help get the cats excited about the scratcher, but Bruno loves it without the extra incentive. This particular one does have a corner mount option and a flat mount option. You can see here the back of it has screw holes. I did not want to screw into the framework and woodwork here, so the tape was our choice, but that is an option. If you were to mount this on a cat scratching post or something that you didn't really care about, that'd probably be suitable and potentially more stable, but we've not really had any issues. The pack does come with the screws included, the catnip, don't know where the catnip comes from, and the 2 scratchers themselves. It also comes with adhesive tape to mount it. Okay, the first thing is to clean up this mess. As you can see here, I tried to just pull it off and it left a lot of residue. So trying to remove it by hand didn't work, so I resorted to a spatula. And you can see here trying to gingerly scrape off the adhesive pieces without damaging the framework and trim work. As you can see, this took a little bit of time. I chose the spatula just because I was trying to minimize scratching the woodwork, as I mentioned. There are different options, but I'd be very careful using something metallic and even getting an X-Acto knife, because you will nick up the wood pretty quickly. Okay, time to move on to the second piece. In this case, I'm just using the rubber spatula to try and get most of it off. And this one was a little bit easier, not as much residue left over. Okay, with most of the big bits off, now it's time to wipe it down, try to get as much of that off, really clean it up. Using a wet cloth and rag here. You can use a little Goo Gone if you get some of the sticky tape residue that stays on here. Obviously it's just up to you in terms of aesthetics, what you want to leave behind. Some of it will be covered up, but I spent the better part really trying to smooth this out. Okay, time to get this thing mounted to the wall. You're going to need some more tape because it only comes with enough to put it up initially. So in this case we have the Scotch indoor, but you can choose anything. Pair of scissors, and we'll get started. So we're going to have to trim down these bigger pieces so they don't stick out as much as a large pad would. I'm just cutting it right in half. Remove the adhesive backing. Should mention this is double-sided tape. Now if you're mounting this for the first time, you'll want to mark where it should sit on the wall. Obviously, if it's too high or too low, the cats may not use it or may avoid it altogether. In our case, we know where it goes because of its prior markings, but you'll probably want to get your cat close by and see what looks normal or easy for them to use. So we're just getting both sides of the tape on both sides of the scratcher ready. And you can see we left those larger pieces intact because the corners can be a little tricky to mount and you want as much surface area as possible. You can trim it off later if you want. Now the trick is to get a good adhesion by really pressing it in there. And it might take a little bit of work to get it to find its natural location. You can see here it kind of popped, but really want to press down on that and get it to stick. So we've got it mounted on the wall. It looks pretty good, but you can see some of that tape sticks out. So aesthetically, not real ideal. So we can trim that off with an X-Acto knife. Again, being careful not to mark up the wood. So now it's time to clean up the mess we made. Get all that extra tape and residue and bits off the floor. You don't want that getting on your cat's paws, or worse, having them play with it or swallow a piece of it. That wouldn't be ideal. And for good measure, we'll bust out the vacuum and get all those little bits. Final test. We'll get Bruno here to ensure that it's been installed to his liking and it doesn't fall off after a couple of scratches. Approved. Okay, so what is our assessment of the corner mount cat scratcher? Well, we love the corner mount self-scratching design. It's relatively inexpensive, the 2-pack. It comes with a catnip holder, although we weren't a big fan and it can be a little bit messy at times. And the design does seem relatively durable and relatively easy to remount when the time comes to replace the tape. That said, we'll give it a 3 paws clawsome rating. There's nothing necessarily wrong with the design. It's just, as you can see, it doesn't exactly flush mount in all instances, which can expose some of the tape. So the aesthetics or visual of it might be a little off-putting to some depending on where you put it. Now, if it's in a playroom or on a catio or something else, you may not care, but that's part of the overall assessment. Also, the catnip holder, although we did not use it, can be messy at times. The catnip tends to fall out of the bottom of the holder. So our product recap comes with 2 mounting options. One is tape and one with the screws. Self-scratching design. It's inexpensive and budget friendly. There is a catnip holder use incentive option, although we did not use that. It's durable and long lasting and relatively easy to remount when the time comes. There you have it. With a 3 paws clawsome rating, we hope you enjoyed this how-to and product review for the corner mount cat scratcher.